Hello everybody and welcome back to Exploring GMOD Maps Part 2. And well, this map is called Freelift, I think? Freelift? Oh, wow, we got like a... what is this? Like a gas station, I'm guessing? Well, in the US they call it a gas station, and Australia we just call it petrol. But yeah, this is like a really nice sort of forest-like map. Anyway, how's life treating you all? I hope you enjoyed the last GMOD video. That was definitely a lot of fun to make. As you can see, I've got a car ready. And yeah, well, I'm not that good at driving. But if you've noticed, I've lowered the game audio so you can hear me a lot better. Wow, what's this? It's like a radio tower. Let's get over there. But anyway, like I was saying, how's life treating you? You know, how's things going? I hope things are going well. I'm having a pretty good 2026 so far, actually. I hope you enjoyed the Desert Island gaming video. I unfortunately had to cut back on the next two videos, I think it was? Or was it just the next one? Because I believe I had another video. Oh, well, that's gorgeous. It's really nice. Every, like, shot in these maps is always like, it's like a wallpaper, you know? It's utterly gorgeous. And it's just so much fun to explore them. Anyway, like I was saying, originally I was going to have a video gaming wishlist video coming out. And that would have come out last week, because the Desert Island gaming video was supposed to come out the week before. I wonder what's down here. Oh, there's a little hiding spot. This is nice. Wonder if I can get through here. No, come around. Anyway. Man, this is really nice. Anyway, I had a gaming wishlist video I was going to do, but I'll probably just go over that in this video. And that's something I'll be doing a bit more in this video. This will be more of a... just a talking about a bunch of different things, because I had a lot of different videos I wanted to do, but I looked at my schedule, I was like, oh my god, I don't have any time for this. Because when you want to do a top 20 games video script, well, are we going left or are we going right? I feel like that's just gonna be a shortcut, so let's go left. Let's see if we can get up here. Anyway. But yeah, I was looking at my schedule and I was like, you know, I don't have enough time for all of these smaller video ideas I had. So I decided to cut a lot of them out and reserve them for this video, which I thought was a pretty good idea. So you'll probably just hear me talk about some general things about life in this video, as opposed to giving each and every video a dedicated vid and clogging up my schedule. But after this, it's really just going to be the top 20 games videos and 3 other videos? Yeah, 3 other videos. Let's take a look over here. This is like a cool dam. It's really nice. Bit of scenery. There's a sign down there, let's go read it. Believe that's German. Obs plötzlich Vanstrom I Annalin. I probably butchered that. That was probably, yeah, very... That was not good. Oh my goodness gracious. But anyway, but like generally life's been really good for me. I'm really glad that I'm getting a lot of these videos done. Man, I wish I could go to that mountain. Look how amazing that is. You know, I would love to go, just like have like a vacation like this in a sort of place like this. Just get away from the world, you know? Do some retro gaming, do some art, all sorts of things. It's really nice. Oh, well, I guess we're going to that tunnel now. Oh, ow, ouch. Alright, let's get that tunnel. If this takes to the tunnel, no, I think this just comes around. Anyway. But that was something I was really, yeah, I was really excited to go like, oh, I'll make this video, make that video, but then I realized I don't have the time for all of these. So after this GMOD vid, outside of the top 20 games stuff, only expect like the Rocky movies. I would love to do a series analysis on that because I've always liked it. I've always wanted to do like at least one movie analysis, and the Rocky movies are notoriously my favorite movies. I've watched like each one of them like 2 or 3 times. I'd like to do a video on the Nintendo Switch 2 and sort of get my thoughts on Nintendo as a company. So that just comes around here. Because there's a lot of like really anti-consumer stuff Nintendo's doing lately, but they're also doing a lot of good stuff too. So I'd like to explore that and my experiences with Nintendo, or at least modern Nintendo. But I'll go over my experiences with my childhood of Nintendo a bit later on in this video. Which was also supposed to be originally like a video, but I didn't have time to get that done. So there's a Roblox truck. Oh, I can't move up here. I'm guessing this is the edge of the map. I can't go there. Let's go down there. Let's go and adventure down here, and we'll come back up here in a moment. But anyway, yeah, I was really wanting to do a lot of different like Nintendo videos, but I decided that I'll probably just put a lot of it into the top 20 games series. I'll do like a video compilation once the series is done, and I might talk a bit more about Nintendo then, but for now I'll just be briefly going on about the company in this video. And I think there was only one other video I really wanted to do, and originally I wanted to do a bunch of videos on all the different manga I read, because if you don't know, I'm a massive like manga fanatic. I do a ton of manga reading. I'm a really big reader, because reading's good for you, you know. I definitely advise doing a bit of reading and a bit of journaling before bed. It's really good for the brain, helps you relax. And I figured like, hey, you know, maybe I should do, I'll do this manga, I'll do that manga, I'll do this manga and that manga. And then I realized I had like, you know, 5 or 10 videos written down on my list of all these mangas I had to do. Because originally I had a series called Manga Mondays I wanted to do, and I'd go over like all these different manga. But I realized like doing this every single week is just not like convenient for me. These areas really remind me of the golf areas in Wii Sports. Yeah, I think I said that last time. Did I? Yeah, I did. I did say that last time in the previous GMOD video. Pretty nice video. Go check it out if you can. But like, yeah, I was like, I gotta chop back, and I'm glad that I did just organize, you know what, I'll do all the manga in just one dedicated video, because then it means when this channel is wrapped up, I'd have a dedicated, you know, hour plus long video about just manga in general, and it helped me clean up my schedule and get things out on time. And hey, this is like it's like a house or something that used to be here. Oh jeez, that's really nice. There's a little dock there. I'm not sure if the world border will let me go to that dock. Let's take a look and see if I can. But yeah, I'm glad that I cut back on those videos just to make more time and make things a little bit more convenient. And there's a house over there. Alright, I'm getting the airboat out. Give me a second. Whoa. That's wild. It's a crazy airboat. Let's see, wait, I'm gonna spawn more airboats. Oh, we'll do one more. We'll do one more for good luck. One more for good luck. Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's just get rid of everything. And we'll just spawn one airboat in. Oh, that's so silly. Alright, let's swim. Okay. But like, yeah, I'll have a dedicated manga video, I'll have a dedicated Rocky video, and I'll have a dedicated Switch 2 video. But everything else will either be in the top 20 game series, or I'll be talking about it here in a GMOD video. Videos like the Desert Island Gaming video, I'm not gonna do videos like that. I'm glad I did Desert Island Gaming just to get like a sort of generic video out there, but I don't think that going forward I'll do videos like that, since it really just drains my schedule and my time, and I don't want to just churn out videos. I want to make meaningful ones. Mostly of just my interests, but it's a little area now. Yeah, I always like these empty houses in GMOD maps. They're really cool because you can just like, they're kind of designed for that role-playing element. So maybe one day I'll get a few friends and get in a couple of maps like these. I really do wish though there was some more maybe zombie survival mods that sort of randomly, sparsely spawn zombies and food and other sorts of things around the map. But you probably need a dedicated mod for each and every map for that to work. But as it is, I'd really just like to take my time more with the videos I make. I really just want to focus on the top 20 series, but there will be some specials here and there, like the things I've talked about before. But outside of the couple of videos that I've just talked about in this segment, don't expect, don't really expect any other videos. I might do a follow-up to this GMOD one if I have enough ideas for things I'd want to talk about. But I probably won't do another GMOD video for a while, unless this one gets really popular, or I come up with some more ideas. Here's that tunnel. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. Ow. Let's get out of here! Ah. There, anybody? Tongue twister. Ugh. Anybody? Anyway. Ugh. My goodness. Tongue twisted today, are we? What do you think, Lightbulb? Yes, we're very tongue twisted. Anyway, this has been Hylanthia? Really nice map. I really like the forest. Reminds me a bit of, I think it's Everpine and Fork. Reminds me of those maps. So definitely check this one out if you get the chance. And here's a remastered version of Construct. Now, last time when we did the Fruitiger Aero Construct, we didn't really get the chance to explore it on foot. So this time, I'm going to be doing a little bit more exploration, but the twist is that we've got these nice remastered graphics. There are a couple of issues with the map, so I'm guessing it's a remaster of an older version of Construct, perhaps. But it definitely looks really nice in some areas. I definitely think the Fruitiger Aero version that we played last time was a lot nicer. This is creepy, jeez. I really like the detail. Wow, look at that texture. There's some really high quality textures here. That's really nice. And I like these flowers. I like how in older games flowers are just sort of like just one or two textures just stacked on top of each other. And they're sort of like floating above the ground. I really like when games do this. It's really cute and at a distance. Yeah, the white flowers look really nice. And look at that. Look at that. That's just utterly gorgeous if you ask me. So I know I asked in the previous segment how life was going. But, you know, if things are stressful, be sure to let me know in the comments. This is a welcoming space for all sorts of viewers. And, you know, I'd like to hear about just how things are hanging. And, you know, if vibes are good or not. Something in that apartment. Oh, there's a couple of empty apartments, so I'm guessing those are just if you want to have some apartments or skits. So let's check out this version of Dark Room. Oh, that's creepy. Not too creepy though. I thought there was writing on the walls. You got some ceiling supports. Oh, this is really creepy. Yeah, I was never a fan of the Half-Life 2 flashlight and how limiting it is. The light switch doesn't work. This fire extinguisher doesn't work either. I like these minute details though. Really livens up the map. White room, yeah. Oh my goodness, the white room looks so much better than in the original map. Wow, you can definitely see the difference here. But like I said earlier, you know, life's been treating me well. I've just been on top of things. Oh, there's my Gyro Zeppeli player model. There I am. Yeah, to remove the HUD elements, I use this camera item, so it gives the map a little bit more of a cinematic feel as I explore the area. We get a vibe for it. And it reminds me of the first time I played GMOD. I felt so happy getting a character model to work for the first time. To think that now I can't even decide on a character model for a vid. I think last time I did Princess Zelda. So this time I was like, hey, last time it was a girl, this time we'll do a guy. I went with Gyro. Next time I might do Samus or Asa from Chainsaw Man. Maybe one day I'll do Leon. But yeah, same old as all the Construct maps. But speaking of scrapping video ideas, is it like a parking lot in here? I don't get how you'd park a car here and then there's a car parked here. I don't imagine it'd be very easy to get your car through here. There's another flyer. Can I press it? I can't. There's another area. That's mostly everything this map has got to show. Wonder if we can get all the way up there. Alright, well, I really like these old gaming horizons. I always like them. Because there's just something so simplistic about the plains and the trees. I've been playing a bit of... I don't know if I said this in the last video, I think I did. But I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption on PC. It's my third playthrough of the original game, and I'm just so nostalgic for these 6th or 7th gen skyboxes. Well, not really skyboxes, more horizon lines to be technical. Oh my goodness! Oh, ow. That was anticlimactic. Alright, I'll fly back up there. So this is level 5. Ow. Yeah, something that always annoyed me about GMOD maps is that you could never actually get up here in normal gameplay. And that I'd always have to use no clip to get to these areas. And if you notice, I always cut out the no clip areas, and oh my goodness, this is... You know how I was talking about a holiday home a few minutes ago? About how, I don't know if I mentioned Canada, but how that sort of, you know, Canada-esque area would be a really nice place to holiday. This would be like a really nice place to have an apartment. Yeah. I've never done it before, but I really like the idea of making a house in GMOD. I think that is something that some people have done in the past. If we've got any, give me a second, I'm gonna see if I can get out of here. I'm gonna die! But if we got any GMOD veterans watching this vid, as a GMOD newbie. Sorry, I get these tongue twisters because these are sort of rambly, just unscripted videos, and they're really nice to create, ignoring the fact that I've got to pretty much suffocate myself in my room to make sure I got good mic quality. But if we've got any GMOD veterans as a newbie, be sure to tell me about your favorite experiences in GMOD. And if you've got some map recommendations, I would absolutely love to hear them. Because it beats going around Construct for the 50th time. Yeah, don't expect me to redo the same maps that you've always been playing on. If I do, I'll do something like the Fruitiger Aero one where there's going to be a twist to it. But yeah, this has been a really nice map. I definitely enjoy it. A good alternative to the normal Construct. Though I will say the normal Construct is definitely still a very good map. This one's definitely a little nicer. Speaking of Aero maps, it's the return of Fruitiger Aero GMOD. And I'm nostalgic for looking in just the general blue and green style of these maps. Because I really enjoyed making that previous GMOD vid. It was just so much fun. Just getting to talk about things. There were some segments I would have changed. Some maps I would have probably not have discussed in retrospect. But Big City is a humongous map. So there's definitely a ton of things that I'm going to be able to explore around here. Oh, look at these posters. That's nice. So this might be an older version of Big City, I'd imagine. Reminds me a bit of that, was it Megalopolis? Or was it was like a New York map. I think it was Megalopolis in the previous video. There's more of that Green Hill horizon. Oh, a lot of nice, really long stretch of road. You know, I've never actually had the chance to explore Big City in full. I think I've explored parts of it, but I haven't explored every bit of it. But this map is really just gonna motivate me to take a look around, and if you're a Big City veteran, just refresh your gaze of Big City. Ooh, now that looks cool. Maybe we should get over there. See if we can get the car all the way over there. But I think I was saying before, and I think I interrupted myself, but it was the scrap videos idea, and I did have a couple of scrapped videos. But like I said, a lot of them went into other video ideas. And one thing I really wanted to discuss was the fact that I wrote a script for a gaming wishlist video, and I think I brought this up earlier in the video. But that was supposed to be going over like games I really like to see, and games coming out soon, or games that have come out recently that I really suggest playing. But I figured that in the top 20 games vid, there is like dedicated segments where I can discuss certain parts. The water looks really nice, but one issue I do have with Source 2, no, Source 1, this is Source 1, I said Source 2 because it's in Half-Life 2. One of my issues with Half-Life 2 is that the water maps is typically just concrete texture, water on top. So, I know a lot of people talk about, oh, Half-Life 3 there should be like an ice gun or a time gun, but I think having like better water physics and whatnot, not like a water gun, that sounds silly, but maybe just better water physics in general. Yeah, Half-Life's one of the few series where I think that making it more realistic would make the series better. I think the only other series I can think that would work as well with added realism would probably have to be Red Dead Redemption. But yeah, a lot of the games I'd like to see, I'd probably just talk about that over time. And maybe I'll make a dedicated indie games video. There is definitely one or two indie games I'd love to talk about, so maybe I'll bring them up there. But yeah, that's just a complete script that you're probably never going to see, which does stink, but is how it is. It's a nice forest here. You know, it's always moments like this in a game where you're like, oh, I just wish I could go over that wall. GMOD has a built-in no-clip feature, so that mystique isn't really as there, but it's there enough. Very, very intimidating sort of buildings. I wonder if I can go in here. Nope. Yeah. One video I did want to make was a games I grew up with vid. That was one I wanted to make. This is quite nice. Fun to explore. Loading zone. But one video I did want to make was a games I grew up with video. And one thing I have been struggling with the top 20 games series is, you know, what happens when I want to tackle honorable mentions sort of segment for the list. That was like, oh gosh, you know, what am I gonna do? Because I'm not gonna talk about 20 games, so I figured that now would be a pretty good time to sort of talk about the games that formed me as a person. So the first games I played were Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. That fallen out of Star Wars, I'm not, but that game was really good. Definitely one of the better Lego games. That Wii Sports, yeah. So the Wii was sort of like my console, and that had a ton of really good games on it. But I definitely feel like, oh, there's a pool here. Let's take a look. But I definitely have a lot of nostalgia for Mario Party 8. I don't think I'll make a video on it. That's quite nice. I don't think I'll make a video on it, but I might reference it here and there. Super Paper Mario, on the other hand, no, that's definitely something you're going to hear from me over time. You might actually hear about a video for Super Paper Mario in a few months. I think that's actually the third video in the top 20 games list that I'm going to do. So that's rank number 18. So I guess that, aside from Flower, Sun, and Rain, is like the first official spoiler in terms of the actual ranking. But I might have to play that on Dolphin, and I might need to map like gyro to the, you know, the Wiimote controls to the gyro of a PS4 controller. Because I'll probably have to replay that to get all the footage myself. But maybe if I can't get the footage, then who knows, I might just use another channel's clips, with consent of course. It's always good to credit people in your videos. Well, I love these posters. I wish I could tear down like this one right here, and this one, like these two. I wish I could like just take them down and like have them in a poster frame. It's just a flashlight. Oh, Upwire TV. That YouTube channel, I believe. I love that YouTube channel. I don't think I'm subscribed, but they make these really nice Fruitiger-esque nostalgia kind of videos. And one of the songs in the previous maps that has now become one of my personal favorite songs was actually in one of those playlists. So that was really, really, really nice. Really nice. Shout out to Upwire TV. And shout out to a lot of smaller YouTube channels as well. I might put a couple of them on screen right now. So if you're interested, you can go check out their videos. Oh, I submerged the buggy. Wait, does the buggy work underwater? No, it's waterlogged. Ah, that's a shame. But anyway, wait, can you go in here? This tunnel. Now this is creativity and imagination, I tell you. Let's see where this goes. Oh, no, dead end. Alright, let's go back. The map is glitching out over there. But yeah. But anyway, back to those games that I kind of grew up with. Yeah, the Wii had tons of really good games. And, you know, I can't go over every single Wii game I played, but stuff like Mario Party 8, Super Mario, Donkey Kong Country Returns, that one. Yeah, those were like amazing games. And I probably won't ever get to make a dedicated video on a lot of those games, but giving them a shout out at some point is just kind of something I've really wanted to do. I might go over them in a dedicated honorable mentions segment, but that will probably be like the last video I ever do, or like second to last. But DS games too, like New Super Mario Bros. DS, Zelda Phantom Hourglass. Now Zelda Phantom Hourglass, I'm gonna try and talk about that one sometime. That one was really good, and that's definitely where I got a lot of my nostalgia for games from. And this kind of Wii-esque, you know, 6th, 7th gen graphics, or that DS style graphics nostalgia. Let's see if we can get on that building. Let's get over to that building and we'll talk more there. Alright, so we're on top of the building. Wow, now that is actually kind of creepy. So that's a full view of the city. Yeah. Oh, and I think there's a bridge to the other building here. Nope, that's just the building. There's a little plaza down there. Let's get over to that plaza. Here's that plaza. But yeah, games like New Super Mario Bros. Wii, Simpsons DS. Man, those were definitely some games I grew up with that I had a ton of fun playing. I probably won't go into any more detail about the games I grew up with because pretty much from there on out, games that I would either honorable mention or just straight up I'm going to make a video on. And you can probably guess which ones those are. But man, just something about this Fruitiger era Y2K always captivates me and really does make me connect with that younger sense of self. And I don't know, it's very therapeutic to explore maps like this. I don't think it's good to live in the past, and there are a lot of new things coming out now and then that I think are awesome. But it is always good to respect what happened and came before, and also to move forward and make some changes, and always have a new adventure every day. That is always really nice. But I'm going to wrap up this segment of Big City so we can move on to the other maps. And this map, I believe, is called Neighborware. And I think you might have seen this in a couple of GMOD skits. This is a very small map, so I'll be brief. But another video idea I had actually had to do with the kitchen. And I think it's probably one of the very few YouTube shorts I've kept up, but I have a video of me doing some cooking. Yeah, so... And, I think that was a lemon salmon recipe, and I really enjoyed that. Oh, there's a break in the wall. Maybe we can get over there. But yeah, this is another one of those roleplay-esque houses. I think I've seen this one in many a few GMOD skits. But yeah, I do cooking as a bit of a hobby, as well as a bit of gardening too. It's reading or writing all of these. I don't know if you. So you can get behind here, but there's an invisible wall. So this is a little nice hidden. But yeah, I do cooking as a hobby. On screen, I've got a bit of a paprika chicken kind of recipe. Yeah, I wanted to make a cooking video and get some recipes out there, but even though I do feel like I've had, a little bit of experience, I definitely felt like I wasn't ready to tackle a video like that, and I definitely felt like it was a video that was sort of just, that's the creator of the map. But I definitely felt like, I didn't really have the time or energy to take on a map of that scale. Not a map, a video of that scale. Like I said, these are definitely very rambly and non-linear videos. But that's the fun. And it is a bit tiring to create videos sometimes. The previous video took me 2 weeks because I lost all my recordings first time around, but eventually things came around and worked themselves out. So different streets, some more houses. I think that's the light on this house. Let's take a look. Similar house. There's a clock here. I don't think that clock is accurate, however. It's another room. So this is like a one-person house. This is a alright house. I wouldn't mind this. Oh, it's got a pool as well. Oh, fancy, schnazzy, and a little tabletop to put stuff on. And this is just more empty backyards. But yeah, I do a bit of gardening. Though the Australian wildlife is not particularly kind to gardening. A little photo of some of my plants, or a plant is on screen right now. And yeah, it's just, it's always nice to give back and cook something for someone, or, plant something and help it grow every day. And It's really nice, especially when your hobbies are very stuck to a chair. It gives you an excuse to go, get outside. Something I do a lot, but definitely in a day and age like this. Who is this guy? Get out of here. Yeah, like in a day and age like this, you don't always get the chance to, explore the world and adventure. So sometimes doing a little bit of I'm gonna ignore that. A little bit of gardening helps the soul and just makes things always feel a little nicer. But yeah, that's Neighborville. Like I said, a short map, but overall it's one of those maps where it's a lot smaller, but there's a lot of stuff to do in comparison to the previous maps we've explored, which are sort of just exploration maps. This map's a bit more of a doing roleplay map. And that sign says, I don't know where we are. Well, we're in Neighborware, that's where we are. And as for this final map, I'm just gonna go with this map called Pole. I'm not quite sure why it's called Pole, but it's basically this big farmland sort of map. And man, this is really nice. Oh, this is the world border. But there are some really nice moments in this map. I really like these segments, for example. The trees. I'm guessing there's probably like a stock like tree asset for the source engine that gets reused in a lot of the maps. The clouds are really nice. Usually GMOD maps just don't have a cloud texture, or they use the Half-Life 2 cloud textures, which are really like ugly and gloomy. I'm gonna start working on a Flower, Sun and Rain script next. I just wanted to make a GMOD vid just to sort of take a break from all that was happening, and I'm just trying to get back into work-life balance, improving artworks and videos, and this channel's gonna come to an end. I mean, like, if I didn't have to worry about the top 20 game script, I would probably just, the channel probably would have ended in like a few months, I've managed to plan out a lot of my ideas, and I'm happy with the videos I'm making. And I'm probably going to focus more and more on making artworks and improving my craft. And I definitely got a way to improve, but I'm definitely happy with my progress. I think just in general, where I'm at in life, I'm pretty happy with, and making a lot of moves forward, and it's really nice, and it's definitely sort of that place where you always dreamed of going. I'm sort of there, or to the very least I'm opening the door to that place, and it's really nice just work through life and make these videos. So yeah, Flower, Sun and Rain script. Not next week, but probably the week after. I'm probably going to start writing it after I edit this video. That's sort of why I made this video. I just wanted to give myself a bit of a brain break just so I can get my ability to script really good stuff back. And originally this video I was going to go over some philosophy kind of stuff. Get a lot of my thoughts and ideas out there, but I've decided that, you know, I probably want to start creating the things I really want to create outside of just videos. And I'm getting a lot of my ideas on paper, and it's just like, man, you know, this stuff is my heart and soul, and I'm glad that I'm taking the time to express myself and come up with my ideas and whatnot, which is great. So, but yeah, it's kind of wild to think that outside of the top 20 games series, which is, you know, a pretty long series, you know, outside of that, I only got like 3 videos I want to do. And it's a really wild thought to have. But I'm really excited to begin work on that and get some ideas out there. So again, you know, hopefully this video has been some fun to you, and you know, be sure to tell me how your week is going, and if you'd like to see more videos like this and you enjoy these videos, these very non-structured, rambly sort of vids. So I'll probably wrap it up here, folks. This has been part 2 of exploring GMOD maps, and I hope to see you in the Flower, Sun and Rain video. See you later.